What is going on, everybody? Brent Abel here at goldballhunting.com. Another episode of the world famous Gold Ball Hunting podcast. I'm your co-host, and that young buck over there is kind of the main co-host. I don't know if that's possible, but
main co-host. I don't know.
yeah,
Somehow. I don't know.
somehow like you're 100% of the 50%. Maybe
Yeah, I don't know. We're going to
125%.
dive deeper into that in 2020. We're going to dive deeper into that.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. So, guys, hang in there with you because I don't know where we're going with today's episode, but I know it's going to be spectacularis.
So the big question is this. How are tennis players like us who never played on the tour, weren't incredible juniors, or maybe got a late start to the game, how do we consistently compete at our highest skill level without having to grind through endless hours of on-court practice time and still be in the hunt for the victory match after match? That is the question, and Gold Ball Hunting gives you the answers by helping you eliminate your skill level range so that you build a strong foundation of confidence. My name is Jeff Jacklich, and along with Brent Abel, my partner, welcome to Gold Ball Hunting.
Young Jeffrey, my man, what is going on today there, dude?
Hey, getting ready to go out and play a little ball here in about 45 minutes or so.
Nice.
Yeah, got to get ready for the Plaza tournament there.
That's right. That's Springs. Right. You're actually playing two tournaments down here.
I am. Yeah, I'm playing. Plaza and the Wilson, and then in the Plaza playing men's dubs and mixed in both.
Oh, who you playing mixed with? You playing with Erica in the Plaza?
Yeah.
Well, wow.
Yeah.
That's going to be like unfair for everybody else in the entire tournament.
Hey, we got to get tuned up for the Wilson.
Maybe you guys could play in the 18s if they have that. That might, of course, the 18s wouldn't know how to deal with the doubles things.
Right.
Got it. Not starting off 2020 too great here.
There we go. Anyway.
So, guys, this is another episode of the Gold Ball Hunting Podcast. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Gosh, today's episode number 354. 354 days in a row, Jeff. We started this thing January 16th of 2019. Here we are just dispensing only the good stuff. None of the hypey, hey, come on over, come on in, man. And we're going to show you how to hit massive, heavy topspin. That's actually, when it bounces, you're going to have to resurface the court over there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because
the ball has its own gravitational pull. If you're wearing metal of any kind, it's just going to fly off your body and like connect to the ball. It's going to be spinning so fast.
God, that just sounds brutal. Where do I buy that course, Jeff? I want to buy that course.
How do I get that?
I want to see like when I hit that shot that my opponent's watch is just getting ripped off his wrist, and sunglasses are just boom, just
ball becomes the black hole, like as it's going across the court.
Oh my God, it's just a vortex of just stuff going into it after it explodes. Yeah. Okay, well,
it's scary good.
Okay, we don't offer that here. Gosh,
sorry.
I guess we're underserving everybody. I don't know. With that said, I guess 2020 for us is going to be throwing rocks and stones pretty heavy, huh? Maybe big boulders.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been throwing little pebbles out there at some of the stuff, but this year maybe it's the big boulder. Just yes. Yeah. Okay. All right. Good. Yeah. You got anything you want to talk about today, there, Jeffrey? Come on, man.
Unless you got something. Is there something lingering in there?
Look at you trying to just.
I
got nothing lingering.
Buck. I'm just saying, if you had something, I don't want to interrupt that flow. But I think as we're getting ready here for the tournaments, I think getting the mind right. Whenever you're going to go play a match, be it a league match or tournament. Again, getting yourself mentally prepared for it. Not just physically, but mentally tuned in, getting excited about getting a chance to go play. What's
the worst thing someone could be thinking about in terms of getting ready for, a tournament or a match or something like that?
Worst is, I don't know. I think you can get ahead of yourself. If you look now, draws are posted, right? So you can get to go look, and you probably have an idea, or when you look at the draws of who you're going to play first round, because it's all posted now online. So I think, you can actually, lose the match before you even get in the car and drive to the court.
So it's some guy that really irritates you. There's some gal that just really gets under your skin off the court.
Right.
And now you got to play this person on the court.
Yeah.
And you're kind of thinking, man, I don't want to hear the stuff from my fellas. Oh, you got to play so-and-so. That would be kind of a lousy loss, huh? Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think, you got to look at the bigger picture and kind of like manage who, as you go into these events, manage who you're going to spend that time with. And hey, Jeff, you're playing, who do you play first round? I mean, you already kind of know your crowd, like who kind of goes there immediately, who you play, and they want to talk about that person. They want to talk about, most of the time it's not about their tennis. Most of the time it's all the emotional crap that surrounds that person that they perceive, or whatever it might be. And so we can get lost in all that stuff. And really what it comes down to is, can you perform on that day at that time and figure out the game plan to get the job done? Because that's really ultimately what we're trying to do here.
Well,
right?
And the only way that you can effectively do that is just take the emotion out of it, right? Take all the social baloney out of it. And, for me, look, there are some guys who I don't enjoy playing, either because I know there's the strong potential that he might see one of my shots not really correctly in terms of in or out.
At a very untimely,
at set
moment
point for me in the first set, right? So, and look, I mean, every age group has got a few, right? Just a couple,
right?
Just knuckleheads out
there's
there.
No getting around it. No getting around it.
And so it's a recipe for, I think, kind of preparing for. I mean, look, I do prepare for that. If I'm playing someone that has got a reputation of not making the most accurate calls, I've already got a game plan of what I'm going to do. I already know. So that's taken off the table, right? The one thing I'm not going to do is engage and go, this is what you're known for. But I'm not going to do any of that stuff. I'm going to give the guy one shot, and I'm going to just say, you absolutely confident with that call. And if they say, oh yeah, all right, I'll say, okay. And then I'll just go the next time there's a real close call, I go, let's get some help. And then, so for me, I've already got that worked out. I already have a plan for that. So now I don't have to think about it. And I just assume it's probably going to happen. But because I'm assuming it's going to happen, I've already worked out in my head exactly how I'm going to handle it. And I'll actually visualize that. I'll actually, a day or two before I play the match, I'll actually kind of shut my eyes and visualize a real lousy, crappy call at set point or at match point. And I'm going to visualize how I want to feel, right? Also, it's more than visualizing. It's actually getting a feeling.
Right.
And then I'll sort of visualize, if I'm a spectator watching the match, well, how's Brent going to react to this? Because everyone else is watching is going, oh, God, oh my God, he called that out?
Right, an audible gasp.
and so I'm visualizing as if I'm one of the audible gaspers and watching Brent. Well, how's he going to handle this thing? And it's so that's off the table for me. And then look, if I'm playing some guy that just annoys me in life, right? I have to feel like I'm kind of like that silent assassin. I'm just sort of out there, just taking care of business, and I'm not allowing that emotional garbage that we all have. I mean,
right.
Everyone's got someone out there in their lives that kind of gets under their skin a little bit. And look, sometimes it's not a lousy call. Sometimes it's just the way the guy either plays, his style of play, which doesn't really work too great for me. I kind of like a nice clean ball coming in so I could work it. Thank you very much. As opposed to something else. But you get other guys who just kind of, they say stuff between points to themselves or to somebody else or to you, or between points. It's not cheating, but it's just super annoying.
Right.
And so I have to, if I know who that player is, I really got to, I got to get mentally right before I play. Because if I don't, then all the other stuff I've been working on with my game, whether it's mental, whether it's
Right.
fitness, whether it's maybe I'm working on a new kind of a little tactic or strategy or shot choice or court position. All that stuff kind of gets fogged up because I've got all this other garbage it's kind of
Right.
in front. It's a great thing. One of the great things Mr. Stowe taught me is we'd be up there, and I might have shared this story 1,000 times. If I have, here's 1,001. Is we'd be working on something and I'd get frustrated, or I'd be, and of course I was the lowest ranked player by hundreds of ranking points with those three other guys, right? And we'd actually play some points, and I'd get frustrated, and Mr. Stowe would stop, and he'd come up to me, and he'd get right in front of my face, and he'd take his hand, and he goes, every time you show emotion like that, it's like your opponent is coming up to you and just waving their hand in front of your face. And he'd do it just like this in front of me. I go, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And he'd look at it, and he'd say, God, just take it like a man. I go, all right, okay, I'll do that. Whatever that means.
Right.
Whatever that means. But I sort of got the picture that, when you get upset or when you've got extra garbage that you bring out to the court, it's like your opponent's waving his hand and for her right in front of your face. You can't see what's going on. So
you can't see what's going on. It's also like you take it to the next level of immaturity, if you will. It's the brother and sister on the road trip vacation. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. Right.
That's right.
So it is one of those things, when you have that stuff so available for your opponent at the surface, you're just adding this layer of complexity and let's say emotional and mental. It's a weak point. So once it's exposed, if your opponent knows how to work it a little bit without necessarily cheating, you're just adding another layer of complexity to the game that's already complex, right? To the challenges that are already in front of us in any kind of competition where it is me against somebody else and we're trading shots, right? Whether it's boxing or tennis or whatever it is. And so you really gotta, get a handle on it, and it's not enough just to read, a book, by Alan Fox or Jim Lohr or, some of the great, sports psychologists out there. It's not enough to read it. You actually have to go out there and play sets and make new decisions. And when you're playing in your tournament matches or your league matches, you have to become the observer. And like you said, you mentally kind of go through, well, how would I react if I was watching this match and looking at myself, like what would be the coolest way to react to this, right?
That's right.
And so, what would be the best way to react to this? And so, you've got to have it in your head. You've got to have this idea pre-thought so that when you come to that crossroads, I've always made a right turn. And every time I've made that right turn, I've lost to this person. Because at the end of the match, I'm so frustrated, not only with the moment that occurred, I'm frustrated with the outcome, and I'm frustrated with myself for having taken the bait yet again, because that's all it is. He just, and he's working you. Your opponent's just doing the thing until they set the hook, and then it's over, right? So when you get to that crossroad, can you make a new decision? So back to the original, circling back to that original, like, what are you doing, Jeff? I'm just like really getting myself ready to get out there and enjoy the competition. I mean, I'm really looking forward to being in it again, because it's been a while. Last tournament match was actually the Wilson last year. Eric and I, played mixed. We lost in the final, so we silvered there. The team we lost to is in the draw again, so hopefully we'll get a chance to, a little retribution this year. But there's a lot of tough teams, so it's going to take some work to get to make it happen every round. Can't look ahead, extra rounds or anything. It's going to be a round by round thing. But again, getting back to the original, it's just I'm personally so ready just to compete to just
Good.
like get in there and like trade punches and let's have at it.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I think that I wanted. There's one more thing I wanted to add to this whole thing about, you got opponents who are somehow either they get in your skin or someone's making a lousy call or whatever it is. But this whole term about being mentally tough, to me, it conjures up this white knuckling, this gritting, this grinding.
Yeah.
You miss an easy shot and you go, I'm not going to show any emotion.
Right.
And it's mentally tough for me is the realization that I am not going to hit every tennis ball to my intended target 100% of the time. I'm going to hit a lot of balls over there to my intended target. I'm going to hit a lot of balls to unintended targets that actually work out better than my intended target. And I'm going to miss some balls to my intended, whatever. But that realization that it's going to happen, then it's sort of, then you start to realize, well, look, I can't be perfect. That's okay. Sure, I'd love to be able on a big point execute the shot, but there's a chance that you're going to miss it. And so I guess my point is that when you do miss it, it is 1 point. It's not always the end of the match or the end of the set that you missed that one shot. Hey, if you've made all the other shots getting up to that one shot, you're probably up 5-0, 40 love.
Right.
I think you're going to be okay if you miss one shot there. So the mentally tough thing for me is first of all, is not to let the opponent see that you're pissed off. And because that just adds a layer for him of, whoa, baby.
Yeah.
And it adds a layer of you on top of you of, oh God, dang it. And it just not, so that's a bad combo there. But anytime I know that if I miss an easy ball, if I don't show that guy any kind of thing like, okay, no, it's cool. Instead of monitor and adjust like we talked about yesterday a little bit, it could be a little unsettling for that opponent. Or I come in and I play the perfect approach and the guy goes over there and hits the shot of his life up the line. And he gives it the, come on, baby. And I just kind of turn and walk around and just don't show him that it affects me, but really inside, just kind of go, yeah, just a point. What do we
one
now?
It's
Is
one.
there anything that we might want to do differently the next time we're in that situation? Right. And it could be, hey, next time I'm in that situation, I'm going to do this. Or I'm going to do the same thing and see if he can actually hit that all-time great shot again.
That's normally where I go to. It's like, all right, dude, you painted the line on that one.
Right.
Are you an expert painter?
Right. That's right. That's right.
Is the next one going to be a little abstract? Or are we going for still life here?
Right. Boy. So anyway, guys. Well, listen, Jeff. I think that's a cool thing is to, and I think the other thing I would add too, when you're getting ready to play a league match, you're getting ready to play a tournament in your first round match. I used to try this thing where I was trying to evaluate, well, where am I? Am I playing well? Have I been practicing well? Am I starting to really peak at the right time? And what that would do for me is the week or 10 days before the tournament, I now all of a sudden, well, I better be playing well, because if I'm not, then I'm going to suck when it comes to the matches in the tournament. And what I found is that lots of times when I've had great results in tournaments is the week leading up to it, it's been kind of ho-hum. I mean, I've already done the work. And now I'm just waiting around and just hitting some balls. And I like to call it kind of rhythm hitting, right? Yeah. Where I'm not putting pressure on myself. I got to keep getting better. I got to peak. I got to get there. As opposed to just trusting that when I get into the match, and for me, I'm not the greatest practice player of all time, meaning sets. I don't know why. I mean, other people say, well, you got to practice the way you want to play. And I just go, okay, well, I'm practicing and I'm playing, but for some reason, and it wasn't this way in the beginning when I started playing tournaments, but now when I get into the tournament match, it's like this clarity and this focus. I mean, the blinders are on. You know, they can be doing with the big, the
Right.
big drill thing over there. The guys are just, you know, the air, whatever that thing's called.
Right.
And I might hear it, but it doesn't. So, and it's kind of the opposite of what a lot of players struggle with. I play great in practice, but I suck in the match.
Right.
And I used to do that. And somehow it's now flipped over to where I'm okay in practice. And not that I'm great in all matches, but
Right.
I just feel like I bring out my best stuff in matches. So what's the secret to that? Just play as many events as you possibly can to where you desensitize yourself going, oh boy, now I'm going to play. I'm going to play a match that counts.
Well, you get to that point where you start to understand there's ebb and flow to every match, even matches that you win 1-1 or 0-1. There's an ebb and flow to it. There's, you know, I've told the story about playing down there and beating the guy, you know, 0-1 first, and I got a little pissed off at myself because I gave up a game. But it wasn't about the game that I gave up. It was about that I mentally took a dip.
Yeah.
And I was aware of it, and that's what frustrated me. It wasn't the game loss. It was the frustration in that moment where I lost my focus. And so that's what I was irritated with myself with. So, but understand that there's an ebb and flow to it. It's very difficult to stay, you know, to redline in concentration for 2 hours, for 2 full sets. You can't do it.
Well, the great Gene Canton.
Yeah.
All right. So here's a guy a few years older than I am, but I remember back in the early 70s when I was trying to figure out how to play the game of tennis over the Berkeley Tennis Club. And he was like number 1, I think, in NorCal in the men at the time. And he was a member there, great guy. He'd hit with the rest of us knuckleheads from time to time. But I remember one time he's playing the match out there, and he's up like 6-1, 5-0, 40 love. And he comes in and he misses a relatively easy shot. And you can see he's just outwardly pissed. He's just going, God. And he wins the next point, wins the match. And he comes off the court, and I said, Gene, you're up 6-1, 5-0, I don't know, 40 love, you miss a ball and you get pissed? And he goes, yeah, because I do believe that in any given match, it can flip no matter what the score is. And that's the thing with tennis, is that it's not like, well, at 59 minutes, I missed a shot and now I only have another 60 seconds. So I'll stretch out the between points time here to 25. No, you got to win the last point. And if you don't, there's always a chance it can flip. We've seen, I've been involved in matches where it's crazy. You know, yeah. I mean, I'm thinking of a match right now, top of my head, Mill Valley, the finals. Mine and I are down 6-1, 5-0. And something happens. I mean, I'm giving, our opponents were playing great. But all of a sudden, they missed a ball. We got a lucky let cord. And then we win a game. Now it's 2 games.
Right.
We win 6-2 in the third. Where it's like, I'm looking at her just thinking, hey, babe, what kind of wine do you want? You want to have a red? You want to have a white?
Right.
Because we're all set to give her, a little hug, little kiss, go off to the bar at Mill Valley Tennis Club, and the next thing you know is it's done. And they're just over there. They're just kind of like, God dang it, they're shocked. But so I don't know where.
Yeah, it can. Well, no, it can flip at any time. So you got that dip in focus and all that, and it comes down to, again, circling back to the original. Okay, what are you doing? So are you ready to actually go participate and receive all the experience all the things that you're going to experience, because it's unpredictable. All the nuance of all the experiences, your emotions and mentally what you're going to go through in every given match. It's going to be different match to match what you go through, because of the personalities involved and because of the weather, because of this, because of the time of day, blah, blah, blah. All those things factor into the experience on the court. And so if you're not ready to, be aware and oh, here comes that experience. I can feel it. Okay. Here it comes. What are you going to do? You're either going to stand there and like you said, try harder. And we know that always works. Or are you going to make a new decision today?
Yeah.
And so, so anyway, there you go.
Good. Guys, a couple things before we check out today. Number one, we've got a couple spots left starting in 2 weeks from today. On the 16th of January, down here in the desert, we've got 2 one-day training workshops that Jeff and I are going to teach and coach. The Friday on the 17th is sold out, but we have a couple spots left on Thursday, the 16th of January. And so we'd like to get you in one of those spots. If you're on the sitting on the fence, you need to go watch that video, the information video, because it's about a 20-minute video, but there's a lot of great stuff that you're going to get before, during, and after that Thursday, January 16th workshop. And those links are right down below this video, kind of depending on where you are, or maybe just listening to it if it's an audio file, iTunes, Stitcher. Jeff, what do we want the fine folks to do right now?
Like us, because we're likable.
Oh.
Share us, because we're shareable. Oh. Subscribe to us, because you can.
We're subscribable.
Let us know what you think down below. iTunes and Stitcher. Rate and review. Goldballhunting.com. Invite your friends.
Spread the love.
This is really where the stuff actually happens. There's no theory here. This is boots on the ground. Get real.
Well, but what about that vortex sucking?
Don't say those 3 words. The 3 words we shall not speak in 2020.
Yes. Okay. I won't say them then. Guys, get out there today. Help someone else have a spectacular day. Jeff, we'll do this again tomorrow.
Can't wait.